Hello and welcome to our fourth talkie session. I am Peter.
Michaela.
And our player,
Scott.
So we started off in Silent Hill 2 this time, and it was dark.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the first game when it went dark there, but this it seems to be only dark a lot longer now. It's only dark for a little while. Also, there's a lot more monsters.
There are, aren't there? And it's like the nurses have escaped the hospital and are just wandering around the town now.
Nothing's really threatening outside.
Well, no, because you can just run past
there's
them.
still enough room, while it's a greatly reduced width of road that you have to run around in. There's still enough room to avoid them all.
I mean, it's for atmosphere, obviously, isn't it?
Definitely.
That's very good.
Not missing the flying monsters then, the little pterodactyl things from the first game.
Silent Hill cliff races.
Oh, you like Silent Hill 3 then?
Oh dear.
Well, it's not quite as bad. Oh, well, you'll see. And so we got our instructions. No problems finding the letter in the wrench?
No, just took a little few looks at the map to get exactly where those supposed to be, but the camera went, oh, here they are.
Yeah, because the camera really helps you, but it sort of draws a whole triangle on your map all the way down one side of the street, so it's like, where exactly is it?
So what did you think of the letter? Do you think it's, at this point, you're kind of expecting it to know things it shouldn't know and whatnot, or is it still creeping you out?
I think we've gone fully into weird territory at this point.
Well, certainly once we reach the Historical Society, but... and, yeah, let's just talk about the Historical Society, because I think that's the bulk, the more interesting part of the playthrough this week.
That picture of Pyramid Head.
Yes! Which is famous for a variety of reasons.
I kept expecting him to jump out at some point during the Historical Society.
Well, that's the funny thing. You managed to completely avoid him, because there's actually... I think there's 2 points where you can come across Pyramid Head. There's one, because you can actually find his great knife. It's called Great Knife. It's because he makes great toast. So you can find the great knife, and when you find it, there's a Pyramid Head there. And later on, just wandering around the labyrinth, there's one as well. And I was kind of expecting you to find him as well, and you never did.
Lucky me.
Do you want to jump down?
Not really, but I don't really have a choice, do I? Well, I guess I have a choice. Could just sit in that room forever.
You could just not play the game, but yeah, it's the way forward.
James jumping down into his own personal hell.
Didn't you write down how many times it was?
Yep.
Was it 5?
5, and then obviously there's the very first one where you're walking all the way down those steps, I think is the beginning of it.
But speaking of the pictures, I mean, did you notice all of the pictures kind of got weird? Because there was the one with Pyramid Head in it, obviously, but then there was like a picture which was the room you were in as well.
Oh, when you see the corpse in the room with Eddie.
Yeah, there's the prison cafeteria room, that one.
So it's like it's almost like it went, yo dog, we heard you like Silent Hill.
So have some Silent Hill. In
your Silent Hill, so you can Silent Hill while you Silent Hill.
And then there's the other picture, which is in the Historical Society as well, I think you noticed, it is a picture of the first hole you have to jump down.
Yeah, I didn't think it would turn up that quickly either.
Did you notice it, though?
Yes, I did notice it.
It's very playing with your mind at that point.
Foreshadowing portents. Eddie?
We had another encounter with Eddie, yeah, after our many drops down the hole. He's there with the dead body again, going, it wasn't me.
Killing a person, a big deal?
I'd say it was a big deal.
I was going to say, do we believe him the second time we found him with a dead body?
Didn't really believe him the first time.
I know, but like the first time he's throwing up and seems like, oh god, I've just walked into it.
It does seem plausible that he just found a body, because there's loads around.
Yeah. Whereas that second time, he is kind of sitting there with a gun.
And he says it wasn't his fault first, rather than he didn't do it, of course. And then he sort of blames the way he was looking at him.
Yeah.
Well, the first time it mightn't have been, but the world might have just changed him.
Good point, yeah.
Oh, and I did also like that he's kind of... It's the second instance that you run into one of them and they go, no, I'm just going to go ahead without you, because we're both crazy and we clearly don't want to stay together. Because Angela does it earlier as well.
I also like the way at the end of the Eddie cutscene, he sort of goes, James says, are you going out there alone? And then he turns to him and he goes, yeah. So it's almost like he's, enjoying the killing.
The craziness is definitely progressing in everyone.
With Eddie as well, you can see his eyes twitch more as well.
And he's got 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but they've deliberately sort of made his eyes too small and they never focus properly. They always switch around quite often. They said they did it quite deliberately to make him appear sort of crazier.
And shifty.
And untrustworthy, yes.
Never trust a person who eats pizza in a horrible horror world.
So we managed to find all of the tablets in the end and get through that section.
Yeah, that section just seemed more like a filler to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I kind of agree, to be honest, because I think by that point you kind of wanting the plot to move on and it gives you another sort of place to explore.
It's a nice location. I like the whole that it's a secret prison under the lake,
but it doesn't really have any bearing.
It doesn't have any point, no. They could have used it better, maybe.
When we put the 3 tablets into the sort of hangman's
little stand,
yeah, that. Did you hear horses as you were leaving?
No, I didn't hear any horses.
Because
were there horses?
We were curious actually, because I remember the sound of galloping and then stopping after the scream, but we couldn't seem to detect it there. So I don't know whether that was a bug or a missing sound or what.
I didn't hear anything. All I heard was bleh. Well, there was a horse from it all, wasn't there?
Yes.
Well, exactly. That's where the sound comes into it, and I was fully expecting that to happen. That was a very long elevator ride down, wasn't it?
Thankfully, it didn't do the old platforming trick, the old 2D platforming trick of throwing enemies at you while you're going down.
No, unfortunately, they do resort to that during Homecoming.
Do they?
Which has a moment in an elevator when you're being attacked in the elevator, and it's a bit like horror game cliche. This isn't like you, Silent Hill. Come on.
I was expecting something to jump out at the bottom, like a pyramid head, but no, nothing. Just a door and a save point.
In fact, I think since we've missed Pyramid Head here, we don't see him again for quite a while.
We don't know. We do see him again, though. Looking forward to it.
And we moved into the labyrinth section. Unfortunately, we kind of found the right path straight away, so you didn't get to explore the few extra little bits left behind.
That's a shame.
Or are you happy to be through it?
It was driving me up the wall.
Yes, I'm not a fan of maze sections either.
Like we were saying at the time, it's interesting from a sort of observer point of view, because it's like unknown and uncharted, and he's drawing his own map and exploring it.
If the map updated properly, it might be better, but...
I thought it was better than the way they usually use mazes in games. Because the way they normally use mazes in games, it's to stop you from getting to the next point quickly. But in this, it did seem to be also...
stopping you from getting to the next point quickly.
Also, I said also, because yeah, there is an element of it, isn't there? But I think it's also supposed to represent, James' disjointed personality.
You have more encounters in this little extra maze bit than you have in the prison, because we've met both Angela and Maria again.
Is there
Maria alive?
Yeah, why can't people just stay dead?
But sorry, you were going to say something before I said that.
What was that thing in the prison that was in the cells? Because that made me want to get out of there quite quickly because I thought someone was coming down the corridor after him.
What wonderful noises it makes as well. Such bass in the voice. I can't remember the name of the enemy. It's an invisible one.
Right.
Yeah, you never get to encounter it, but it is there. It's always supposed to make those rooms just feel uncomfortable.
Yes, and it trundles up and down, stomping. And
the atmosphere of the prison was well done.
You also look at it quite a lot as well.
Yeah, I saw his head turning.
Yes, it was quite atmospheric. There was also a scare in the bathroom that didn't seem to trigger, and we're not sure why. When you knock on the woman's...
Yeah, if you knock once, I think it's because you knocked a few times. When you actually get to the door, there's a noise.
Of course, this isn't your fault. Part of the problem with the game, in my opinion, is sometimes when you click on something to examine it, it just goes straight away again. I mean, you can kind of make it a bit better by stopping with the stick entirely and just letting go of the stick and then pressing X, because if the stick's in neutral, it won't go away again. But the thing is that it shouldn't go away if the stick's not in neutral anyway.
Maria. It should just go away with another click.
Yeah, so it's not really your fault, because I mean I do it all the time when I'm playing as well. Oh yes, Maria.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, because she was not all Maria.
And a lot more provocative this time.
Yeah, what was your first thoughts when you saw her and she was alive?
Why can't anyone just stay dead?
I mean, I'm assuming you thought figment of your imagination, because lots of things were a figment of your imagination.
I didn't think figment of imagination. I just thought it was the town screwing with you again.
Yeah, because I do think James seems a lot more not going, oh, I'm crazy. He's going, what's happening?
You might have just accepted reality around him as it is, rather than questioning everything now.
Yeah, he's sort of recognised the external influence rather than thinking it's all him. Whereas at the beginning he was like, well, I'm not crazy, or am I? I'm not sure.
Actually, I thought it would be more of a case that the Maria that got stabbed by Pyramid Head was more of the figment.
Right, yeah. Or perhaps Maria entirely.
But we did meet her again, and she did know things she wasn't supposed to know. It's just weird.
I love that cutscene. Especially when you ask her, aren't you Maria? And she goes, well, I'm not your Mary. Wonderfully delivered line.
Then when you go again, if she's Maria, she goes, she can be if you want her to be.
And of course that good sound, that wonderful disconnect you have, because she has those two different voices with two quite different inflections coming out of the same person.
Some sort of gestalt entity.
Caught back up with Angela, that was nice.
Nice, yeah. There was a thing, it was unpleasant. She was unpleasant, as usual.
There was the boss battle first, which seemed to be a bit of a struggle, because it was such a confined space.
Yeah, I was trying to get it down quickly by just spamming the button. No, you've just got to run around every time you shoot it. Unless it decides to go down for a hit.
I mean, the hunting rifle takes it down quicker, but we're in normal, so it still takes quite a fair amount of damage. Still not a challenge, though.
Well, no, once you've worked out the pattern, you just walk, shoot, down it goes.
And the attack you can break out of quite quickly as well, so you don't take much damage.
Lesson learned from last time.
Yes, because we had the Flesh Lips battle, where I think at one point you didn't jiggle the stick, it sort of just drained your health. Nearly killed you, actually, I think, at one point.
Well, it let me go before it killed me, but yeah.
Oh,
almost.
Thank goodness for that.
Sympathetic at all to Angela, though?
A little bit more now, but she's still grade A crazy.
And it's difficult to be sympathetic to someone who isn't sympathetic towards you, I suppose. In an abstract sense, it's quite easy to feel sorry, but when someone's being nasty to you right there in front of you...
Does James really deserve something?
Well, that's a good question. Does he? Or what did you think of the monster design? Because we were talking a little bit about it and saying how it's sort of a frame and it could be...
It looked like a person on top of a bed or a table or something.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a person on top of a person on top of a bed, or we were thinking a door frame, perhaps.
My idea, and lots of other people's idea, is that it's the sort of silhouette of your dad in a doorway in the dark.
That's one possibility, I suppose.
Did you enjoy so far? Not entirely by the sense of it with the amazing.
The amazing was driving me up the wall, but as long as that ends quickly, I should enjoy the rest.
So we're looking forward to the hotel, and hopefully all the storiness we'll get from there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see all of you next time for more gameplay, and we're all going to say goodbye now. Goodbye now.
Bye.
Goodbye.